a week ago, as it'll be the Cincinnati Bengals taking on the Buffalo Bills.
Okay, Coach, we are about 15 miles south of downtown Buffalo at New Era Field in Orchard Park. Today, it's week 3, and we've got a good one in store between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Buffalo Bills. Two 1-1 teams here, each looking to move over 500, and we're underway here in week 3. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. This is Joe Mixon, 4th in the NFL in rushing last season. Only a couple for him there on the game's first play, and it's 2nd down. Here now the offense for the Bengals.
Well, the Bengals struggled in 2018. Running back Joe Mixon certainly did not. Over 1,100 yards running the ball, caught 43 passes. Expect both of those numbers to continue to climb in his years in the NFL.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Here's Dalton. This one grabbed by A.J. Green. 12 yards that time and a Cincinnati 1st down. Green last year had the lowest numbers of his career output-wise, 694 yards, 6 touchdowns. But, of course, there was a reason for that. He was battling a toe injury the second half of the season. And, boy, did the Bengals miss his presence. They limped to the finish line, losing 7 of their last 8. They are happy to have him back and healthy. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. 10 yards there on a Bengal first.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it could be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
Looks like he's going to get a couple here on this 1st down carry, and that'll make it 2nd and 8. Jerry Hughes on the stop.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a 3rd and about 4 more for a 1st. 4th-round guy, and many thought that's about where he would go, but I think he's got some upside, right?
He can come right in and be what they call a core special teams player, playing all 4 phases of it, and have a chance to work his way into the lineup. I think a year or 2 down the road, they could have a solid starter.
They added a lot of talent to a roster that really needed an infusion of youth. They got a very good infusion of youth.
And they didn't really reach to get anyone as well. They stuck to their draft philosophy, got the best players they could at the time they were drafting, and inserted them into their lineup.
A big play there on the catch and run. A bad time for a roughing penalty, and they get the gift of a 1st and 10. Dalton gives to Bernard, and this play goes nowhere, losing yardage back to the 15. A loss of 2 there, 2nd down. A tackle for loss there. 2 last week. He's tough to handle coming off the edge.
I mean, you talk about a defensive end, your first thought is, how does he rush the passer? That's where he makes his big plays getting into the backfield. But the best ones can play the run as well. And that's what we're seeing from him, that excellent combination of holding the point of attack and also getting upfield to make plays in the backfield.
Finding Green complete. And here he'll get it down to the 7. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down. And he's already got 2 catches on the opening drive. They know he's going to be a handful.
And sometimes you game plan for that offensively. You want to make sure that guy touches the ball, and sometimes it just happens naturally. And then you change.
And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. John Ross, his first touchdown here of the new campaign, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Well, that's how they envisioned to get the football to start the game and score.
And I don't know if that was scripted. Was it an audible? Or was it just a play call that they had in their pocket? No matter what, they had the right call on against the right defense, and they end up in the end zone.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10 at their own 26. Allen going to throw. Looking for Jones, and it's intercepted. William Jackson with a pick. And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 for a Bengals TD. We thought this defense would be opportunistic, and they were. Here, you're already up. Now you got a 2-touchdown lead. I tell you, going out there on defense, did they have a little bit of extra momentum with a score already on the board?
Oh, without a doubt. That already felt good to them. They took it and used it and obviously put up another one. But here's the thing now. Some defense coordinators might want to pull their guys back a little bit because they don't want them to make mistakes because they're too overamped. Others say, I've got a 2-touchdown lead. Go get them, guys. They'll be even more aggressive.
Bullock good on the extra point, and it's now 14-0. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. 2nd and 10 now from the 27. To throw again. Allen. And that going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle.
Check 50, check 50. Mike 20, Mike 20, Mike 20. Watch QB drop.
Throwing is Allen on 3rd. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Carlos Dunlap, the Florida Gator, chopping his way to the quarterback.
I spent a lot of extra time preparing for this game, watching this offensive line, because they gave up 5 sacks last week in their loss. They just gave up another one now. They don't seem to be working together as a cohesive unit. Right? 4 guys might have it right, but the 5th guy is giving something up. They've got to find a way to all get on the same page.
And out of bounds, this will depend on where they spot it, and they'll say at the 45. The Bengal offense now gets set to head back out onto the field. They've got things going their way early. 14-0 lead and the football. 1st and 10. Now Dalton with a 1st and 10. And that's complete. It's Green here. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch. Good for 8 yards. Dalton with a give here to Mixon.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
On 1st and 10, here's Andy Dalton. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete. Tyler Boyd, the former Pitt Panther, was the target. And that'll bring up 2nd down. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Now Joe Mixon. Just a couple there on the 2nd down run. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8 situation. Pretty good little two-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on third down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he can scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. And things haven't started so well for this side. 2 drives, 2 punts.
So now you've got to start looking not just at play calling, but which guy's going to step forward and say, okay, let's get this thing done. Because within that unit of 11, sometimes one guy can make a big-time play and break through the barrier.
Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say, we're going to...
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked by Nick Vigil. And this return is going to be halted right around the 28-yard line. First quarter, and now he already has 2 interceptions.
Yeah, he's got to guard against being tentative from this point forward, though. He's got to still make the right reads, make the proper throws. I've seen guys in this league throw 4 interceptions in a game and win. He's got to understand, put it behind you, keep pressing forward.
Mixon with a first down carry. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. Ready for the second quarter, and it's our visitors with the football as they've got it with a 2nd and 10. Start of the second quarter, and it's the Bengals in control of the football as they've got it with a 2nd and 10. On second down, here's Mixon. Call it about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense, and guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature and make sure you don't get hurt.
Now this one to his running back out of the backfield. That'll go as a pickup of 8.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Dalton, 1st and 10. Open man is Uzama. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. A gain of 6 there on first. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Mixon. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. 9 yards on the play there, and it'll set him up 1st and goal.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete. The tight end, C.J. Uzama, the intended receiver, but it'll be 2nd and goal. 2nd and goal, and they will try again from the 2-yard line. Here's Dalton. Under pressure now, and he's going to go down. Sacked back around the 8. Tim Williams leading the surge there as he drops him for a loss of 6.
When you're this close to the goal line, you got to expect pressure from the defense, so the ball's got to come out fast. Got to get out of his hands quicker.
And back at the 8 now. 3rd and goal. Dalton here from the gun. Looking for Boyd, and he's got him. Touchdown, Bengals. Tyler Boyd, his first touchdown of the new season. Now the Bengals, they widen their lead. And, partner, they found a gap there on the post pattern, and it was in the middle 3rd of the field.
And that's really difficult to do because ordinarily the safeties are back there to prevent that happening. But they found the opening and exploited it.
And a pause in the action because the booth, they see something that they want to take another peek at to find out if this was a touchdown or not.
Dalton's pass complete to number 83, Tyler Boyd. Touchdown, Cincinnati.
It took them an extra look, but they found out it is a touchdown indeed. The official says this one counts. Extra point up and good by Bullock. And the route is on here in this first half. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Here comes Josh Allen and the Bills offense back onto the field. In second quarter, they're down big already. He's struggling as well. They've got to find something here. He's got to find something on this drive.
And sometimes you take on all that extra pressure on yourself, and maybe you have to disperse it a little bit. Lean on some other people, lean on your teammates, find someone who can take the pressure off and get the ball in their hands for a while.
Or this, if he doesn't, this is getting out of hand, or it could get worse. They go play action here on first down. And he finds Tyler Croft. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Now Allen. And he fires one incomplete. Zay Jones was the intended receiver. And it's 3rd and short. Charles, he doesn't seem to be particularly in tune with his receivers, just 2 for 7 throwing the football, but he did seem really locked in before the game.
Yeah, and that has to do with receivers sometimes. Sometimes the defenders knock them off their routes, and you're usually pretty precise. 1, 2, 3 cut, balls out of his hands to the receiver. In this case, might be off by a half step either way. They've got to find a way to get back in sync.
Allen looks to throw on 3rd and 1. It's caught. Jones. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals 36.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. Back to the ground, this time with Gore. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. 12 yards that time and a Bills first down. Tell you what, you need the tough yards. You can still turn to the 36-year-old Frank Gore, now in his 15th season in the league. 10 in San Francisco, the 3 in Indy, quick stop in Miami, and now in Buffalo, and still making it happen. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
I don't think you got it, sir. Check nickel, nickel, nickel. Deuce.
Working out of the shotgun. Here's Allen. And he whips that one incomplete there. He was looking for Isaiah McKenzie that time. And that'll bring up 2nd down. So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. Now a draw play for Gore. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up 3rd down. 9th play of the drive coming up, and certainly not an easy one on 3rd and long.
Monday. You can choose the mic. Watch Mike. I got you, punk. Hey, Alpha.
From the gun, it's Allen. That's going to be caught. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. Isaiah McKenzie, his 2nd touchdown on the season, as they are now on the board here in the first half. A nice throw there by the 2nd-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that was the kind of play he would have made as a rookie, because usually your rookie season is a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more. reading the field and getting to a second and sometimes third progression. That was a nice play.
That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. All right, let's focus now on Giovanni Bernard. A good job in the passing game, decent job in the running game, but really they've been more effective through the air. We'll see if that shifts at all as this goes on.
Thus far, it feels like they're calling this game in reverse. Normally you run to set up the pass. Here it feels like they're passing, hoping to set up the run and be more effective later on in the game.
Yeah, you can do it both ways. We usually talk about it in the reverse, however.
No doubt about it.
And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Looking to throw again on second down. Dalton. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. 7 yards there and a first down. Dalton on the draw to Mixon. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. Now after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. We'll check on his status when we return to Orchard Park. A first down throw coming for Dalton. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. Second down. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Dalton. He gets this one to Boyd. Creeping up on a minute to play in this first half. To throw here, Dalton. That's caught by his tight end, Uzama. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. The Bengals going to use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. And what can they do here on 2nd and goal? 3 red zone trips, so nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Tim Williams picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
Well, surprise, surprise. 1st and goal at the 1. No quarterback sneak. No running play. They decide to throw for it, but the pressure got to them quickly and put the quarterback down.
On 2nd and goal, Dalton. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. The catch good for 6 yards, but now it's 3rd and goal.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-armed guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
Another shot here from the 2 as they come up on 3rd and goal. From the gun, Dalton wants to throw. And that's going to be knocked away in the end zone. It's incomplete. So they won't get a touchdown, but here's a chance to at least get 3 to end the first half. This is less than an extra point, just a 19-yard attempt. And Bullock will put this one through, and that will push this lead up to 20 now. So a capper there to a pretty good first half.
And I love the way that they put a chokehold on the clock and pretty much drained everything before they put the field goal on the board as they headed into the half.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This one fielded at the 5. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. Time here for likely one play, then off to the locker room, and they're going to have some adjustments to make.
They certainly will, and I think a lot of people are thinking to themselves, all right, take the knee, get out of here, regroup. But how will the head coach and his staff approach halftime? Will it be angry? Will it be clinical? Will they be calm? Will they just let it all out? Who knows? I'd love to be a fly on the wall for this one, though.
The Bengals set to receive. They have the lead and the football to begin quarter number 3. This one taken from the 7. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. A reminder, coming up later tonight, a lot of buzz about this game. The Browns, they've been doing some travel. Back-to-back primetime games for them. Monday night they were in New York. Now the Browns head to Los Angeles to take on the NFC champs, Browns and Rams. An 8:20 kickoff Eastern time, 5:20 in California. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 12 yards that time, and a Bills first down. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now a delayed give to Gore. And he'll grab a gain of 5 out of this up to the 41-yard line.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
From the 41, Allen. And the grab by Croft. 15 yards that time, and a Buffalo first.
Here we go.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
On 1st down, Allen. Short throw hauled in by Croft.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
Allen now on 1st down. This is caught. And he is into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. Isaiah McKenzie, his 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. And the Bills get a bit closer. That's a score you felt they had to have here in the 3rd quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there's an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
And it's no good. It has not been his day. That's the 2nd extra point he's missed so far. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Bengals set to take over. Last week they got the victory against the San Francisco 49ers. They've got the lead in this one as well right now. So here's Dalton and the Bengals now. 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Now Dalton got a man open. It's Ross. And he's able to get this one up to his 30 before he's out of bounds. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up 2nd down. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. A quick throw now complete to Ross. It'll go as an impressive 31-yard gain.
Just more of the same there, partner. Guys have just been running free in the secondary this entire game. No pass rush, a lot of passes completed. Been an easy day for him.
On 1st down, Mixon, and he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. Well, he had 2 sacks earlier. Now he has 4 total tackles for a loss after that play.
Well, they obviously have to do a better job trying to block it. But short of that, you know what the quarterback has to do? Make sure he doesn't hand it to him when he's back there.
And down he goes. A coverage sack. Took too long to get rid of it. Tim Williams giving him once again his 3rd sack of the afternoon.
It's a team game, but sometimes individuals do stand out, don't they? How about that for a twofer? Tackle for loss on the running play on the previous down, and then comes right back and gets a sack.
3rd and long. What will Dalton dial up? Dumps it off to Mixon. Give him 8 on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
That's certainly playing down and distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
Here's Brian Anger now, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. He only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. Out of bounds as he appeared to be looking for the corner. He got it. They're going to mark this at the 4-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. They'll try and start the drive here with Gore. And a short gain here as he gets it up only to about the 6. Geno Atkins, the Pro Bowler, in there on the stop.
That first down play, all you want to do is wedge out any type of space and try and create enough room. If you have to run the punter out there, he can successfully complete the punt.
Gore hit. He lost the football.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. Back around his goal line. Here's Allen. And able to find John Brown.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense.
They stopped him shy of the marker, thought they were bringing up 4th down, and then that penalty.
Let's face it, they thought they had bent, but could absorb that, right? Instead, they broke as a result of their own penalty.
A bad time for a roughing penalty, and they get the gift of a 1st and 10. So the shotgun snap to Allen. Pass incomplete, but the flag in the backfield, and this might be a roughing call.
Roughing the passer, defense.
The hit comes late. We saw it. There's your flag.
And we know that there's a guideline, right? Ball's gone. You get one step. If you're within one step of the quarterback, you can hit him as long as it's still done legally. But anything outside of that looks like an extra step was involved.
Allen going to throw. The throw on target to his receiver, McKenzie. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 11 yards and a Buffalo 1st down. Allen now 9 of 15 throwing the ball, 60%. And it's 1st and 10. Allen now from the gun, he'll throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Geno Atkins able to record his 5th sack of the season. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Another try after the 1st down sack. Allen going down the middle, and it's complete. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for 3rd down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Here's Gore now, running out of the gun. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. Up front, the struggles continue for this offense among the line. What can they do? Change the play calling? What?
I think part of that, yes, changing some of the play calls, some screens, some draws, some misdirection. You want to run any type of a play that will influence these guys to continue to get upfield and find a way to use that against them and slip things in behind them. So some quick passes could work as well.
Back now in Buffalo. The Bills have the football, but they trail here as we begin quarter number 4. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. Allen will look to throw for it on 4th. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down. Allen now 11 of 17 passing thus far. He's got his guys a 1st and 10. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Geno Atkins in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. Well, that's 2 sacks in this game, so add that to the 4 from last week. I think that's 6.
Good math. Excellent math. And look, he's going to get all the attention. He deserves it. He got home and got the quarterback on the ground. But that's a concentrated team effort because you got a lot of guys who occupy.
Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Geno Atkins, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
Okay, let's go back a little bit and see if my schooling comes to the front. What's that old saying? Those who forget the lessons of history are doomed to repeat them. That's the same guy who's gotten back-to-back sacks. I think a double team may be in order.
Here's Allen. Allen hit. He lost the football. And the Bengals have recovered it.
Brandon, I don't want to violate any of our broadcasting rules by declaring a game over before it's over. But that one, that puts them in real jeopardy there.
Absolutely. It was a two-possession game. It is a two-possession game at this stage in the fourth. They needed points out of that drive.
And obviously now, no chance at all to get those points that they so desperately needed.
A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves them with a 2nd and 3. Once again, they run with Mixon. And this carry not as productive. He's swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go. They give to Mixon to try to pick it up. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. He needed 3. He got 2. Now that'll set up an interesting situation here on 4th and a yard. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it, get the first down, close it out.
And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it again.
You nailed every part of what was frustrating. Down on the scoreboard, had a drive going, had pushed it past the 50-yard line, so they felt like they were in striking distance, and to come away with nothing, not a good feeling at all, to put it mildly. Now they can't afford to do that again.
Yeah, now can they get that bad taste out of their mouth here? And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. Now a stoppage here as we've got a Bill shaken up on the play. We'll check on his status when we return to Orchard Park. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. The Alabama man, Dre Kirkpatrick, there on the coverage. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
Holding offense.
Well, there have been a ton of sacks. They were just trying to prevent another.
So what you're telling me is the conventional way has not really worked for them, huh?
Not at all.
Not at all. So he tries to grab him here, and they still get caught.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated, the front and the back.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Dayon Buchanan in there to record another sack, and that is now 6 on the afternoon for this defensive unit.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
It'll be a 47-yard punt with a net of 40 following a 7-yard return. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, That doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try and increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
Again, it's Mixon. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there. 10 yards there on a Bengal first.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And no doubt what they're looking to do is just salt away the final couple of minutes and escape with a win. And an alley to run. And they move this all the way down to the 9. 31 yards there and a first down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Oh, passing it. Dalton. This is caught. And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. Tyler Boyd with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Bengals, they widen their lead. That, of course, all set up by the big run on the play prior. They took advantage right away with the touchdown throw.
And you mentioned advantage. Probably taking advantage of their natural instinct after that previous play to be aggressive and rush towards the line of scrimmage. And instead, they were vulnerable to the pass.
Bullet good on the extra point. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride.
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Geno Atkins make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. Offensively, they're going to have to figure this out before next week. 7 sacks in one game.
Yeah, that's more than any quarterback should have to bear. And if this continues on, there will be another quarterback in the game because no one can stand up to this week after week.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. To the air, Allen. He's going to let it fly. It got his man complete. And all the way down to the 39. A big play here for Buffalo. 46 yards. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Allen. And that's incomplete. Clock stops with 10 seconds left. So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10. Now Allen to throw. To throw again. He finds his target, John Brown. And the clock will now stop as a timeout is called with 5 seconds left. One final shot. They'll look to throw. That's complete right around the 8. The ball comes out, and this will go out of bounds, so no recovery, and that is how this one will come to an end. So this one in the win column now for the Cincinnati Bengals, and really it looked at times like they just had this one in cruise control out there.
Yeah, they deserve a ton of credit because you and I both know, heck, they knew. This is a tough place to play. Overcame that with ease, romped home with an easy win, and here's the best part for them. It'd be easy to get to the airport because the crowd left pretty early in this one, didn't it?
Well, plus they have a police escort.
Okay, you had to spoil that part, and then, of course, they're going to get there. But think about how wide open things are now because this crowd didn't expect this.
No.
So they went back to the tailgate.